The old man's chair. More comfortable.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for your patience. We're joined with the head coach of the Jamaica Senior Men's National Team, Coach Steve McLaren, and also captain of the Reggae Boyz, Coach Andre Blake. At this point in time, we kind of ask to remind you as well to please put your cell phones or other electronic devices on a setting that will not disturb the press conference, and you will not be permitted to exit or leave during the press conference knowing the sound that the door makes as well. So we're going to start off proceedings with questions. Who would like to start off? You can raise your hand, and once you're indicated, then you can be able to pose your question, whether to Coach McLaren or to Andre.
Opening question, Dwight Fraser, IRFM. Andre, I need your assessment of the matchup last week, and in your estimation, the things that we should do heading into this one, come tomorrow.
Last week I think it was a tricky game, you know, going there and playing on turf, but no excuse from the players' side. You know, we have to be able to adapt. We're professionals. We have to be able to adapt and adjust wherever we go. You know, I always say it's both teams playing on the same pitch. You know, and we had our chances. You know, and we didn't take our chances, and they did, and that's just football. So we have to learn from it, and you know, we have to keep getting better.
Come tomorrow?
Yeah, come tomorrow. We know exactly what we have to do. You know, no game is easy. You know, you don't win games on papers anymore. You know, you have to go out there and you have to apply yourselves. You know, and you know, whenever you show up and you're not ready to play, you know, it's going to be a difficult game. So the mindset is right. The mindset is clear. We know exactly what we have to do, and we're going to go out there and execute.
Thank you, Dwight. Bryce?
Coach, the next game are coming into Bermuda, a team that defeated comfortably last time. How do you approach this game now, coming off a defeat?
Like we approach every game. We prepare well, we recover from the last game. We make sure the players get the right information. We know a little bit more about Bermuda after playing them. It's a tricky game. It's always going to be a difficult game. We need to win, so preparation is key. As long as we get that right, the recovery, we've got energy, attitude. We know what we're doing, we do our jobs, and we want the supporters also. I think we need a collective tomorrow. I think at times, you know, during the game it may be difficult. We say to the players we have to stick together, and we also say to the supporters, stick together. So the 12th man is going to be important, create a good atmosphere, but we have to make that. So I think the difference between most games we've played recently, we've started well the first 20 minutes. I think against Curacao we didn't start well in the first 20 minutes and conceded a goal. Once you do that, it's very difficult, and we make no excuses, and Andre is absolutely right. It's about adaptability and coping, and it took us a while, which is normal. It's a reason, it's not an excuse. It takes a while to adjust to a new surface, a surface that was particularly soft underfoot, and many players slipping. That I think the reason they adjusted during the week, and we had to adjust in one training session, and once we did, after 20 minutes, 30 minutes, we got a grip of the game, and I think then we dominated, created enough chances, one to equalise and two to go on and win. But as Andre says, this is football. When I look at the stats, you know, the possession we had, the amount of entries into the final third, the amount of entries into the penalty box, the amount of touches in there, 18 shots, 7 on target, some off target which should have been on target. There were enough chances to win 2 games. So I hope, and we said to the strikers that I hope we're saving the goals for tomorrow. And it's a must-win game, and that's what we're preparing for.
Thank you, Gregory. David?
Morning, Coach. King from Walbury TV. Coach, you just spoke about the statistics. Well, how frustrating is it to once again come up with more big chance created? We dominated where we had more expected goals, and once again end up on the losing side or not getting the deserved result.
That's football, and football ultimately is not really about X's and O's. It's about players. It's about the quality of player. And unfortunately, on that day, I think since we lost Mikel Antonio, we've been searching for a number 9 and goal scorers and where they're coming from. And I think I go back to a year when we played Cuba the first game. I think 28 shots and about 16 on target, and we come away with a 0. I think that's always been a little bit of a problem. Is converting the chances that we create. So we need to be more clinical and finding that number 9 who can consistently score from nowhere. I think we're searching for. Since Mikel went, we've tried players and they've done well. Unfortunately, Warner Brown has been injured. Calimatri's come in and done a great job and scored. Roman Borrell. But we also expect the wingers, the likes of Cephas and Dixon, Tyrese Campbell, Leon Bailey, Damari Gray. We expect them to score as well, and also from midfield. So, we scored a lot of goals, I think, from set plays also, which has helped us. But we're looking for that clinical finish to what is. We dominated the game. We dominated the ball. We created chances, good chances. As long as we keep doing that, and the performance is at a level, I'm happy with that. I was happy with the first 20 minutes, and no excuse for that, but we didn't have to adapt. But once we adapted, we dominated. We need to do the same, and like we were in the first game, I think we scored the first, and we were clinical in the chances that we got.
Can you get one for Blakey? Straight off the shot, was he unsighted? Because it was a shot from way out, so we're wondering if it got deflected or were you just not able to see? Because he didn't dive. What happened there?
Yeah, I couldn't see the ball.
Daniel?
Hi, 2 questions. Firstly for you, Jay. Losing the game was obviously tough, and then dropping to second in the group. In speaking with the players, how do you guys not overly internalize this loss, knowing that you guys have been building momentum since the start of the qualifiers?
As professionals, playing football, I think we have enough experience in the room to know that, you're going to lose a game. At some point you're going to lose a game. And it's always about reacting, and great teams, great players find a way to react, and we're all, very not pleased about the results, so we all know that, we have to react, and I have no doubt that we're going to react in a positive way. So, we just have to learn from what happened in the last game and become better from that.
Yeah, and Coach, you spoke about losing a lot of duels against Curacao. Even though Bermuda have lost all their games, they did play very well away to Curacao. How important will the mentality and aggression be heading into this game?
It's the number 1 requirement for our preparation, for our messages to the team. The first 20 minutes, be on the front foot, start aggressive. But unfortunately, we didn't do that in Curacao, and that was the disappointment for me. Adaptability, maybe excuses we can have, but there are certain reasons. But we went into that game and we won the first 2, and everybody was this is easy. This is not easy. Going anywhere is not easy. Playing Bermuda here is not easy. So qualifying for the World Cup, it wasn't going to be easy. It wasn't going to go flying through and winning every game. And so by the 5th game you're qualified. It doesn't work like that, especially the quality in the groups. You see that in all the groups. Everybody's joined, everybody's beating each other, and the groups are very close and we're the same. So you never want to lose, but we have an opportunity to, as Andre says, to bounce back, which is the best. Bounce back ability is a requisite of all top teams.
Chris?
Yeah, Coach, you know, one of the things that was glaring in the game against Curacao, of course, was Isaac Hayden and Casey Palmer missing. How important it is to get those players back into the squad, especially the fact that you've explained that the duels, winning the duels were the problem, and those players are integral in the midfield where that is concerned.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we need freshness. For this game, we need energy and attitude, and we're lucky and unlucky that we were missing them too. We're lucky we got them back, and also we'll be looking maybe to change a few more, because we've learned over the past year that the second game is always difficult, and I don't think you can play the same team. So you need to bring in energy. That's why you have a squad, and so we'll be doing that. And we have two very fresh ones in Isaac and Casey coming in, who are integral to how our midfield plays.
And Coach, Andre, after that loss as the captain, what was the talk like with the team? You know, to actually get them prepared mentally for this game, because now it is very important. Of course, all games are important, but this now, you know, heightens the level of importance when it comes to World Cup qualifiers and qualifying for a second ever World Cup in history.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think much was needed to be said from me. I did say a little bit, but I think we all recognize that, you know, we just lost a game that we probably should not have lost. So, obviously, from the captain, you know, there's a few things that you're always going to say, but we also have to ensure that we keep a positive locker room, keep a positive mindset, because, you know, we have a quick turnaround to the next game. So, as I said earlier, you just have to learn from these games and, you know, find a way to quickly put it behind you, because if you find yourself starting to carry too long, it might affect the next game, which you don't want, because whatever happened in that game is already gone, it's already done. There's nothing you can do to change the result, you know. So, but you can't just put it away. You have to learn from it. You have to analyze it, see what went well, what didn't go so well, and, you know, just find a way to quickly move on, stay positive, because the most important game is the next game.
And last question from Gregory.
A question for you, Andrew. You're one of I believe you are the longest serving player in the squad right now, the captain, been here for over 10 years. Can you speak what it means for you personally to be able to represent your country for so long, as well as on the role as captain to try to lead the team to the World Cup after so long?
I mean, I don't think words can actually explain, you know, what that means to me, you know, but all I'd say is, you know, the passion and the fight, you know, and all the emotion that goes into it, you know. Whenever I lose a game, you know, it hurts a lot, and I'm pretty sure that's not just me, that's the entire team. But, you know, all I want right now is to do whatever I can to make my teammates proud, to make the nation proud, to make the fans proud, because I think Jamaica deserves this, and I'm not just doing it for myself, you know, I'm doing it for my teammates, I'm doing it for the country, and yeah, I mean, the goal at hand, you know, is to qualify, and I'll do everything I can. I'm pretty sure all my teammates will do the same, and we're going to go for it because we think the country deserves it.
Andre, Coach, thank you very much. Members of the media, official training is 10:30.